Hi everyone, good evening. Sorry, we'll just start in the next 5 minutes. We're waiting for Bitcoin Chief to join. I'll be chatting me up. He's having a little challenge in registering. Sorry, joining the call. So just give barely 5 minutes and then we'll kick off. Hi Chimoya, Mirabel. Hi Mirabel, how are you doing?
Hey, good evening, Doc. I'm doing great. What about you?
Very fine. Good evening. Good to have you here. Hi Nancy. Nancy, how are you doing? Nancy is muted. I just wanted to know if you had any difficulty while joining the call, because few others are having difficulties and we're trying to help them out. But regardless, once the Bitcoin Chief joins in the next 5 minutes or less, we'll just kick off immediately. The Bitcoin Chief here. Good evening, sir. Sir, you're muted. Hello, everyone.
Good evening, Doctor.
Very well. Everything is going on fine. It's good to have you here. I think people will just keep joining. We'll just kick off real quick, so that we don't keep you here longer. So we had he had this a bit of emergency that came up before this call, but he still made it. So I want to say a very big thank you to everyone that has joined so far, and it's good to have everyone here. We just had the conversation kickstarted, and then hopefully we're gonna have fun. So in the light of resuming the conversation for this evening, is a 5-star chat hosted by Startup Grind for the Enugu Tech Startup ecosystem. And today we are hosting Gaius Chibueze, Chief Gaius Chibueze, also known as the Bitcoin Chief. So Gaius Chibueze, as we all know, is the CEO of Eastside Ventures. He is known as a trailblazing cryptocurrency pioneer investor, also a techpreneur, a visionary founder, with a very cultural persona, right? His business group, Eastside Ventures, is diversified. It's a diversified business group committed to innovation, empowerment, and immense economic development to Nigeria and beyond. I think he hails from Enugu State, yeah, and began his journey into digital asset space in 2011, becoming one of Africa's earliest investors in Bitcoin when it was just about $35. His foresight and relentless drive have since propelled him into the spotlight as a leading figure in Africa's crypto and tech revolution. Eastside Ventures, on the other hand, under his astute leadership, has established a handful of forward-thinking companies, which includes, of course, the Voice of the East. So Voice of the East is a digital platform amplifying Igbo voices and cultures. That's part of the Eastside Ventures. It's also established Organize Farm business focused on sustainable farming. And they launched Oniji Motors that helped partnering with the ETF to transport people down. Transportation company designed to redefine mobility and logistics in the southeast of Nigeria. Yeah, driven by a passion for Igbo Renaissance and regional development, he has been likened to Michael Barachru for his commitment to empowering the Southeast through entrepreneurship and innovation. Bitcoin Chief, is good to have you here. Good evening, sir.
So much, Udoka. One introduction.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you.
I'm excited.
So,
Yes.
yes, okay, great. Um, so you mentioned few just not too long ago that your wife is down in health, so she's recovering fast. Hello, I think we're having a network glitch. So at some point, network knocked me out. Please, can you hear me? Chiso, please, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Perfect. Okay.
Can hear you.
Perfect. Okay. Did the Bitcoin did network knock him out or knock him off? Oh, he's here. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, network knocked me up at a point.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. So let's just dive right into the conversation. So the theme for today's fireside chat is sine qua non structures to boost entrepreneurship in Southeast Nigeria, a disquisition of ESVC. So we're going to cite ESVC as an example of having these invaluable structures that are necessary to boost entrepreneurship in Southeast Nigeria. So, but I think prior to diving into the conversation, it would be very nice to have you tell a bit of your story on your path to wealth creation and also to fame. Interestingly, highlighting the failures you've had. Thank you.
Sorry, Udoka, it was breaking up when you were speaking. I don't know. Can you bring back that question again?
Yes, can you hear me now? Is it clearer now?
Yes, it's clearer now.
Okay, I said that you should tell us. So, we want to dive into the conversation, but it would be nice to have a background of your, of your pathway to your rise to fame and wealth, highlighting a bit of your failures. Yeah, the aspects of failures that are interesting to share. So basically, we normally will hear discussions of how people, got to wealth without, highlighting the aspects of failures and how they overcame and eventually got good success. So please, want to hear a bit of your story, your background story on your pathway to wealth, and highlighting a bit of the interesting failures you experienced.
AKA Bitcoin Chief and so many other AKAs. I happen to come from Enugu State here too in the southeast, and many of you who have followed me understand that I am a chief promoter when it comes to the southeast. economic development. And I've been at the forefront of this for 11 years now. Unfortunately, most people are just catching up right now, but I founded my first company here in the Southeast, Voice of the East, in 2016, and the vision was how do we put out most of the amazing things happening in the Southeast? How do we also position ourselves in such a way where people can easily access information that is happening, information of things happening around the Southeast? That was actually what led me to start Voice of the East in 2016. And we've been actively doing this. A few years ago, I founded Eastside Ventures. And the reason I founded Eastside Ventures was because, as someone who has been telling people to invest in the Southeast, most people will often want to ask, what you that you're asking people to invest, what have you done? So 5 years ago, I founded Eastside Ventures as a vehicle to invest in different industries I think are promising in the Southeast. So a little bit about my background. I was actually born in Ikom in Cross River State. My father, my late dad, who just died some days ago, he was a businessman who left Enugu here at the tender age of 19 years to Ikom to serve his elder brother. You know, the Igba boy system. His elder brother was a businessman, and my dad left Enugu after secondary school to go serve him in Ikom. And while there, my dad met my mom, and then they got married and had my elder brother, unfortunately, who passed on the very year I was born. So I was born and raised in Ikom in Cross River State. It was when I was 6 years old that we now moved back to Enugu State and started living here in Enugu State. So that's a little bit about my background. Growing up, I schooled in Cross River State, my secondary school and my primary school, because I was shuttling between Enugu and Cross River. So my primary school was in Cross River. I started my secondary school here in MNA. At some point, I went back again to Cross River, and all those up and down, I wrote my WAEC a few years later in Jos in Plateau State. So I didn't grow up with the money, most of the wealth most people presume I have. I didn't also grow up with the fame most people think I have. I was born in a modest home. My dad was a businessman, and he had like a chemist, what people call pharmacy today, the small type. And we're moving from one village to the other in Cross River. And as we're moving, that's how that business was reduced until it finally disappeared. And we decided to just come to Enugu State and start all over. And my dad started working in the local government. So I grew up in a house where, in my village in Obegu here, my dad would lie down on the table. I have 5 other siblings. Myself and my younger brother, Chiwe, who is in Turkey now, Chiwe, will sleep under the table. My dad will lie down on the table. My dad's wife and 3 other of my younger siblings that are female, they will squeeze in the bed. And then soup and our clothes and everything is inside that same one room that we were given from my dad's, from my grandfather's inheritance. So that was the situation growing up. So I laugh when I hear some people think I grew up with money or wealth or any of these things. I didn't grow up with those things. I grew up, many of you even had more privileges and had more access to wealth growing up. So that was how I grew up. But from a very young age, being raised a Jehovah's Witness also contributes to my inquisitiveness, wanting to find things out. I started at a very early age. I started reading Watchtower and Awake. So I had some first word informations very early. And while in Abuja at a particular time, I ventured into something called network marketing. Many of you know people in the MLM industry, they call them multi-level marketing, MLM. So I ventured into multi-level marketing after graduation from school. So I ventured into that multi-level marketing because I am naturally a very good salesman. I know how to sell anything. So I said, okay, I could put my talents to use here because I know how to build communities. I know how to bring people together. I know how to bring people together to pursue a single agenda. So I signed up with a couple of network marketing companies until I signed up with the last one called Organo Gold. So I was using Facebook to promote this Organo Gold. I was very active and everything was going well. There's this American guy I follow, Mr. Rory Cox. He used to be like a top leader in that Organo Gold. So I was following him to learn from him. And then one day I noticed that he stopped talking about Organo Gold. He was now talking about Bitcoin. That was in 2011. So that was what caught my attention. So one day I asked him, I said, bro, I would love to know about this Bitcoin that you've been talking about. So he sent me a YouTube video and I watched. And in that YouTube video, the person said Bitcoin had gone from, I think 30 something cents to $2. He said a lot of good things about Bitcoin, but what really caught my attention was when he said there was going to be only 21 million Bitcoin. So I thought to myself, wow, if there's going to be only 21 million Bitcoin, that let me grab some. At this point in my life, when I got to know about Bitcoin, I said I was involved in network marketing. Then by the side, I had like a small unisex barbing salon in somewhere called Biaji across in Kubwa. If you know Abuja well, you know this place that I'm talking about. So I was not doing badly. I had that small business, making money from network marketing. In fact, the first white guy who came for that Organo Gold, I was the one that brought him into Nigeria. The white person who came to build the team of that Organo Gold in Nigeria, he came because of me, and I hosted him in Abuja and did everything. So before Bitcoin, I was also involved in a couple of ideas too. I was just writing proposals. I remember I was 16 years old when I wrote my first book called Talent, a Gift from God. So digital money that was supposed to be big, but it didn't take off. So all this is just to show you that I have tried my hands in a couple of things. Also worked in a couple of ideas. A few days ago, I was in Abuja with my wife and I was showing her some of the places I trekked when I was in Abuja, going to submit proposal. How many of you know the distance from Warimpa to the Central Business District where the secretariats are? I have trekked all that places, going to submit proposals and doing quite a lot of things that never worked out. So when I came in contact with Bitcoin, I had small money I was saving to expand my business, my salon business then, because I had that salon. Then I was selling phones in a glass something. You know, many of you are Nigerians. You know what I'm talking about, like small show glass in front of the salon. So I was wanting to expand that business. So when I heard about Bitcoin from this white guy on Facebook, I said, let me buy some. So that was how I bought just 11 Bitcoin. So a few months after that, I got an opportunity. I wrote a letter, actually. The opportunity didn't come to me. I went to it. So I wrote a letter to all the senators and House of Reps through a friend called Uju. So I wrote that letter, and in that letter, I headed it 150 reasons why you need an SA on new media. So my friend Uju, who was working with a senator there, helped me to submit it to their offices. 2 months later, 2 days later, I received text message from one of them. He said, who is this? I got a letter, why you need an essay on new media. I introduced myself. He didn't respond again. 1 week later, my now boss, who is now the current Minister of State, Trade and Investment, Senator John Owaneno, he was he was a member of the House of Reps then. So he texted me, and as I replied, he called me back and asked me to come to his house at Apollo Legislative Quarters. So on Saturday, 8 a.m., I was there. Even before 8 a.m., they opened the gate for me. I went. And he was sitting like this, and I was standing there. And he asked me, "You wrote this letter, 150 reasons why you need an essay on new media." I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Can you can you carry out all these activities you wrote here as your 150 reasons?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Okay, how much do you want me to pay you?" And I said, "Actually, I don't want to take any salary for the first 6 months. I want to work pro bono for free for you. And if after that 6 months you like what I have, you appreciate the value I have brought to you, you resume on Monday." I said, "Mr. Next, he said, Mr. Next, you should put my name at the gate on Monday. You know, the National Assembly, you can't just go in. They must put your name on the gate, by the gate." So on Monday morning reached, he put my name in the he put my name at the gate. I went, they accepted, they welcomed me at National Assembly, created my own ID card, and that was how the whole thing started. So I had already bought Bitcoin at this very time. But Bitcoin was not rampant. Nobody knew about it. So it was a period when there was a particular Ponzi scheme called Get Help Worldwide. So a colleague at the office, the receptionist, one of her friends had come to tell her about that Ponzi scheme called Get Help Worldwide. And when the lady was talking, and she now talked about Bitcoin, she said, government is blocking people's accounts who are using banks to transact that MMM. That she was not encouraging her to use Bitcoin. So when I heard that Bitcoin, I asked her, I said, "You know about Bitcoin?" She said, "Yes." She said that she's using it to do that. I said, "I had bought this thing some years earlier." See. That was how I went back to check, and my Bitcoin had grown from $35 where I bought it to around, I think, $200 and something for one then. So that conversation about that Get Help Worldwide made me go back to it and also check. And so from that time, more Nigerians started becoming aware of Bitcoin, because government, if you remember, when they were doing MMM and all those Ponzi schemes, government had banned where people transfer through banks. So people started using Bitcoin and other crypto to do that Ponzi scheme then. So that period, I started educating people about Bitcoin. Started holding small groups meetings in National Assembly. Then most of the senators, like my now boss, Senator John Owanena, I was the one that helped him buy his first Bitcoin when Bitcoin was less than $1,000. I remember then I went to the office of Ike Kuremadu and a couple of other people there too, to also pitch to them and tell them about Bitcoin. Many of them were receptive, many of them were also not. But I kept it up. There's a place in Abuja called Barnex. There used to be an eatery opposite the Samsung office. I no longer live in Abuja for the last 10 years. So these places, I don't know if they probably may have changed the businesses there. But there's a filling station when you're at Barnex Junction. Then beside that filling station, there used to be an eatery called Chicken something. I used to rent that place to hold like meetings, or as many of you know, it's seminars to tell people about Bitcoin. So while I was doing that, I was also accumulating. It was not until 2017, that was the year I sold my first Bitcoin. 2017, the price of Bitcoin went from $800 to I think 19,800, but we target 20,000. So that was when I sold my first Bitcoin. I remember it was just like a dream. I was sleeping. I had just had my first son, then he came back, and I was sleeping. One of my very good friends, those of you who follow me on social media probably know her, Bitcoin Goddess. She lived in Lagos at that period. She was always calling me. So she was calling me in that midnight, asking me to go check my wallet. So I went to check my wallet, and I saw like 3.something million US dollars. So I haven't seen that kind of money before all my life. It was like a dream come true. It was like a dream to me, not even come true. I was cleaning my eye to see if it was a joke or something, and it was true. So that was like the first time I sold some Bitcoin, cashed out $1 million. I remember I was like, I didn't take it to my house because of, normal Nigerian fear. I was in a hotel when I cashed out all that money, kept it on the table, and I was looking. The aboki that changed me, there were like 3 of them that changed the money to dollars for me. Immediately they changed it. I packed the money and moved to another hotel again. Nigeria. So I kept it on the bed and I couldn't sleep. In the whole night, I would be turning around, I would be moving around, and that was how I started working my way and left Nigeria, and also invested in quite a lot of other things. So since that 2017, I took it upon myself to educate people about Bitcoin and the rest, and that was how the name Bitcoin Chief actually started. So looking at this now, you will see that it's a journey of persistence. It's a journey of a little bit of luck. I have people that have done more than I have done. I have people that have worked harder than I have worked. I have people that have that know better than I do, but they have not been able to be this lucky. So I personally don't even like calling it luck. I call it a little bit of God's grace. But also sometimes when we call it God's grace, it looks like, does God hate other people? So that's why sometimes I just stick to fortune. So, but in all this, you see that I was already trying something. Before Bitcoin, I had bought e-gold, thinking e-gold was going to be big like Bitcoin, but it never. So I took a whole lot of other risks too that never paid out. I told you here how I was trekking from Guarimpa to Central Business District to submit proposals for business ideas. So what happened was that in 2017, I said, okay, I'm going to build my brand around this Bitcoin. So it was in a WhatsApp group with 3 of my friends then, Jennifer, which is Bitcoin Jenny. You can still check her out on Instagram, Bitcoin Goddess, and myself. So we were inside that WhatsApp group, and I told them, I said, I want to start building my personal brand around Bitcoin, that anywhere they talk about Bitcoin in Africa, I said, anywhere they talk about Bitcoin in Africa, I want my name to come up. So that was why I started building the narrative that, oh, I am Bitcoin Chief, first African to buy Bitcoin. Nobody knows the first African to buy Bitcoin. But if you go on ChatGPT now and type first African to buy Bitcoin, my name and picture is going to come up if you put it on Google. Why? Because I have in existence since 2008. But I understood media narrative and also first mover advantage. In Nigeria, you see today, everybody calls every noodles Indomie. Why? Indomie was the first big company that launched out noodles in Nigeria. And today, even if it's Tommy, any other kind of noodles, they call it Indomie. Why? Because Indomie went large, Indomie went big, went to schools, did all the work that all the noodles that existed before them never did. And today they are enjoying that first mover advantage. And that is like also what I am enjoying. So I might not be the first African to buy Bitcoin, but I am the known one. That's why you always see me introduce myself as the first known African to buy Bitcoin. So this is a little bit of my story. Like I said, it's a journey of persistence, consistency, fortune. I was fortunate. Sometimes being at the right place at the right time also matters. Sometimes also getting known for something. Getting known for something also matters too. Last year, December, my friend Bitcoin Lord invited me to his house in Ebenebe in Anambra State. And while there, he was introducing me to his workers and his team. And he told them that I inspired him to come into this Bitcoin business, that I brought it to Nigeria. I made everybody today that you see, everybody today that you see talking about Bitcoin in Nigeria or some part of Africa, they either got inspired by me or they got inspired by someone who got inspired by me, or they learned from me or they learned from someone who learned from me. So this is how I've been able to like build my personal brand around it over the years to where I am now. But as an individual, I have always strived for greater purpose. In as much as God has blessed me with financial resources, financial blessings, but I want to be known beyond the guy who bought Bitcoin. I want to also be able to impact change in my immediate society. And that was why I said, okay, God has blessed me through Bitcoin. How do I use that money to invest and turn it over? And that was why I said, okay, I'm going to launch Eastside Ventures, which is my company. So as someone who has love for the Igbo culture, I have been a chief promoter of Ali Igbo even before I made money. I'm currently building something called Tech City Africa. I already bought the land, I already fenced it, which is going to be the first living estate for tech people. Only tech people live and work in that estate that I am building. But I remember when I had that idea, I didn't have any money to even buy the property. But today I have bought the property, 26 hectares of land. I fenced the whole property. And I'm telling myself every day I wake up, I look at the picture of the architectural design, and I tell myself I am going to build this before I die. So it's all about the vision. It's all about what you see. Just like in the Bible, as a believer, I always read and I always believe things in the Bible. Remember where God was telling Abraham, and he said, as far as your eyes can see, I will give to you. You understand? So I tell myself that. So this is a little bit about my journey. I think I will stop there for now.
Yes, it has been very insightful. Thank you so much. This is beautiful. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. A whole lot of things to say there, but just in the spirit of trying to make sure we attend to every single thing we want to discuss this evening, skip a few things I have to say and ask this next question. So yeah, you did mention a couple of things that you've built. That includes ESVC, which is Eastside Ventures Capital. So this is now diving into the core conversation. Could you please give us briefly give us a detailed description of ESVC and what ESVC stands for and what is geared towards?
Okay. Many of you already know my company, Eastside Ventures. Eastside Ventures, like Udoka explained, is a conglomerate, and the focus is, I see a whole lot of opportunities around the Southeast. When it comes to agriculture, I set up Ohaneze Farm. Ohaneze Farm is the biggest fenced livestock farm ranch in the whole of Southeast, sitting on 410 plots of land, all gated and fenced, ranch constructed inside with animals inside. Many of you know Voice of the East. Voice of the East is the leading Igbo media company in the world, promoting everything that concerns Igbo and celebrating Igbo excellence. Many of you also know a couple of my other businesses like the Kedu app, Oyije Motors, and a couple of other things I am doing, like the Tech City Africa too. So all these companies and ideas are under Eastside Ventures. Eastside Ventures is my mother company. So I have been opportuned to invest in young entrepreneurs. Last year, I invested in 3 businesses in the Southeast. Many of you know Brain Okolis, Mame Food. I am the only investor that invested in it. I gave them their startup capital that they used to set up that company. And today, they are producing spice. I invested in a couple of other startups too. I invested in also a tech platform too. So doing this, I now started asking myself, how can I set up a proper structure for venture funding? Now, the reason why every young person, most of the young people, 99% of the young people who want to build in this part of the world, in the Southeast today, if they really want to make it big, the reason, one of the things that they often do is to move to Lagos. So I started asking myself, I want to build Tech City Africa. Now, this Tech City Africa is supposed to be where only tech people live and work. Now, if every tech person in the Southeast has to move to Lagos, so who am I building this Tech City Africa for? Because at the end of the day, I'm going to build, many of us here know fine estates that nobody, in Abuja especially, that nobody lives inside. Because either people cannot afford it or people don't want to live there. So I said, okay, I'm going to slow down the development, that people development or people with skills, people with tech skills, their development has to grow to catch up with what I am building. So I told myself that I'm going to set up a venture capital fund. Now, this venture capital fund, what is going to focus is investing in startups, and I will prioritize startups that are based in the Southeast. The vision tagline of my company is build locally and export globally. People read it literally, but for me, it matters so much. If you look at India, one of the top forex earner for India is not oil, it's not a whole lot of other physical and natural resources. It's their human resources. India has the largest tech talent pool in the world. I live in the United States in Miami, Florida, and one certain time, one of my Airbnbs in Chicago had an issue, and then they said I chatted Airbnb in the app, and they said the customer care was going to call me, and this guy called me up from India. This guy called me up with Indian accent, and in the background you can even hear bikes passing or things noise, and I was like, this person says he's coming from Airbnb. Why is it like this? And I talked to my friend Splash, the musician, which many of you here know. And she now told me, she said, yes, that is normal, that most of these American companies outsource their customer care services to Indians to handle. That a whole lot of other things that most of these big companies in America outsource to Indians. So that is my vision. How can we build people and companies that can be here in the Southeast and export their skill and talent to companies in America? So my vision remains build locally and export globally. Most of our young people from the Southeast, they learn their tech skill here, acquire it, become better at it and everything, and then they move to Lagos to go live remotely to work. It's not as if they are going to work every day. They go to Lagos, rent fine apartment like this, and they are inside there owning their generator 24 hours to work. So imagine why that person is living Enugu that is cheaper, Enugu that has more fresh, better air, less traffic. You can easily go outside and receive fresh air than Lagos. Imagine the person living in Enugu to go to Lagos to still go live remotely. So my vision is, so how do I help more of our people to build their skills and talents here? And it boils down to funding. Most of the reason most tech talents move to Lagos is because they feel that they are going to easily get better jobs there. Then they are going to form the talent pool of Lagos for recommendation. They are going to also have maybe more stable Sorry, guys, it's like started itself. Please let me know where you stopped hearing me. Is it okay there? Can you guys still hear me? Please type if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
My Wi-Fi actually restarted, so I don't know what happened. So now I was trying to explain. I said I have traveled 26 countries of the world. I've lived in some of the finest. I lived in the UK. From the UK, I moved to Dubai. From Dubai, I moved to Miami. And I've spent like 3 months also living in Las Vegas and New York. So I understand what comes with some of these beautiful big cities. And I can tell you that last year I decided that I was going to be spending most of my time 50-50. Now, I will stay in the US 1 month, come back to Nigeria and stay here in Enugu for 2 months, and then go back to US again because of some of my businesses I have there, and come back. Now, it's beautiful out here. I know it's different for someone who has money. It's very easy to be rich and comfortable in Nigeria. But what I'm saying in essence is that the reason why I am building this tech city is so that people can have like stable electricity to work with. Like in my house now, the light has never gone off. The light can't go off. Why? Because there is standby solar, the standby generator, and then there is NEPA light. If any of them trips off, the light won't even blink. It will switch over to the next one. So if I want to build this kind of for tech talents in the Southeast, which I already bought the land, I already fenced the land. By November, by God's grace, I'm going to do the stone laying ceremony for the first high-rise building I want to build there called Villa Miami. Now, if I want to do all these things now, do I want to build this estate on 26 hectares where I am going to live alone? No, I can't. So I told myself, I said, okay, I need to set up a venture capital that will invest in some of these startup ideas. Now, what is venture capital, which is ESVC? Remember, my company is Eastside Ventures. So Eastside Ventures Capital is what we mean by ESVC. So ESVC stands for Eastside Ventures Capital. So ESVC, my entire vision is to see how we can fund startups that are building here in the Southeast, and also create an ecosystem of funding that we can attract other people to come and invest here in startups that are building here in the Southeast. So with this, we can build the next Andela from the Southeast. We can build the next Airbnb from the Southeast. We can build, I'll give you an example. I have 2 of my developers that work with me now for the last 3 years, Isaac and Casey. They live here in Enugu. And they have built platforms for me that are used by everyday Americans. So this talent is here. The talents are here. The talents are as hungry as talents anywhere else. They want this, they want to be able to showcase their talent. What most people on this call need right now is they are running a business that is currently doing $100 a month. With small funding of $5,000, that their same startup can do $150 or $200 a month. So I set up ESVC to be able to support these businesses, these business ideas, these startups. And one good thing about me is I don't just talk. I already started it. I hate explaining my ideas. So one thing I do is to show people that I am already doing it. You either join me or you watch me. Last year, I started by investing in Mame. I invested in another company again that uses okpa to make bread. You understand? I invested 20 million naira in that one. Last year, I also invested in a startup here, Cry. So a whole lot of other startups I have also identified that also need a couple of investments. And if you invest in these people here, if you can give them a good environment to work here, they don't necessarily need to leave the Southeast. So this is why I set up Eastside Ventures Capital. to be able to invest. But as someone who is also, my major background is in Bitcoin, blockchain, and crypto. So we launched the ESVC as a blockchain venture capital fund. So ESVC is kind of different from other venture capital funds. And there is a reason why ESVC will never lack funding to provide to entrepreneurs, because we have created like a 360 self-sustaining ecosystem. So what ESVC does is that it funds ideas of members of the community. So what do you need to do to be a member of the community? We have built a couple of businesses. Ohaneze Farms. Ohaneze Farms is going to later metamorphose into a meat production company called Betano. By God's grace, that company is going to launch next year. Meat processing. When we raise animal in this our farm, we move it to Betano and kill it and package it and export it to other parts of Nigeria and also distribute here in the southeast. So these are part of the ecosystem. We have OEJ Motors. OEJ Motors is also part of the ecosystem. Many of you here were part of the Enugu Tech Fest, and you saw that we gave out close to 8 vehicles that we're using to move students from wherever they were to the venue of the event. So we have created all this ecosystem of businesses. And what ESVC as a token does is that it is the transactional currency of this ecosystem that we are building. Now, basically, all what people need to do is, as far as you are that ESVC holder, it's just like every other crypto token out there. Now you have access to pitch your business idea for funding to our ESVC team. Now, we want to fund from $1,000 to $100,000. And we have built it in such a way that it is self-sustaining. Majority of the VCs that invested in some of my business ideas, most of them, if you go to them at certain times, they will tell you they are also raising funds. Because most of the venture capitalist companies get money from elsewhere to come and invest in these startups. But we want to make our own self-sustaining. Self-sustaining in the fact that if we invest in this business now, as that business is making profit and as we are benefiting from that, we use that our profit that we are getting from there to invest back into the ecosystem. Many of you here know people whose job is trading. That was actually how I started at some point. I was basically doing day trading. For example, 2 days ago, I funded a Forex trader with $2,000 to trade because he passed the $100 test. So I funded him $2,000 to trade. Now the agreement is he is trading, he is an ESVC, he is an ESV Capital trader, funded trader. So I'll try to break it down again. You know how to trade the crypto and Forex market, but you don't have capital. But your analysis are perfect. You can come to ESVC and be part of the community, and we will give you the test, just like we screen startups. And then when you pass the test, we are giving you the test with a $100 account. Grow it to $500 to show us that you know what you're doing. If you lost the money, fine, we take our loss and move on. If you grow it to $500, we say, okay, thank you, and we fund you. So he passed the test. We now funded him $2,000. We funded him on Tuesday. As of today, that account is on $7,000 plus profit. So the agreement is at the end of every month, he's going to take 40% of the profits he makes, ESVC 60%. Guess what? That 60%, let's, for example, we're sharing this, let's say we're sharing this $5,000 he already made with us in 2 days. So he's going to take, he's going to take $2,000 and we will take $3,000. That $3,000 that we are taking This makes the system self-sustaining. Building. You can come and you trust and say, okay, I have this, I am selling Okpa. I have brought dollars. If you can invest $1,000 in me, I can start making $200. You keep 40% of the profit while I keep 60. Invest in you, and when that profit comes in, we reinvest the profit again into other people in the community or into others in the community. Can you guys still hear me? Please, somebody, we can hear you, so I will know that I'm not alone on this.
Hello, hello. Sorry, I keep battling with network, but I can hear you, sir.
Yes, yes. Okay, perfect. I had already answered that the question you asked, so let's move on. So if you have me to
Okay, cool. Yes, no, like yes,
ESVC
just a
again.
follow.
So I'm
Yeah,
sure
just follow up questions. Yes, sure. So follow up questions. I just have follow up questions just to get things, just brief answers, and I now have 2 more questions. I'm done with what I have here. Just follow up questions. Number one, founders that will be able to access funding from the ESVC that have gotten some, correct? Not necessarily founders at idea stage.
we basically don't work in idea stage companies. Why? Because we don't really want to. So invest in people doing what they are doing. We want to see that you are already made, but you need extra capital. ESVC will not be investing in IDESH and what. You have started, no matter how small, you must have traction. You must have market proof your idea to start. Every idea you have, the reward is money. So we want to see that you are already bringing money, no matter how. Even if you say, I have found X formula for, I have found the next, for example, to help cut down cost or we want to see that somebody has already been used. Yeah. So ESVC is created solely to invest in say you are very big. We want to, but we want you to have first of all that risk of getting started.
Okay, great. That makes sense. Then secondly, the second question will be ESVC community that you mentioned. What it means is that people must have become part of the community. It's like a DAO, more or less. So what does it take to become a member of the community? I don't know if you touched that when you are giving your description the other time.
Okay, so first of all, rightly said, it's a DAO. The fund is a DAO. So in August, like I still launched it yet. Right now, we are still doing the trial of how we want it to run. Fund 7 traders already funded, 2 startups that are already generating income. I was in Abuja days ago, and I met with one of the startups that we invested. That was the first time I was actually meeting him, and the guy already generated small money. Even the least his business for last month alone did 900,000 naira in profit after in profit after expenses. So we are going to launch next month. So like it's a gated community, it's a gated DAO. So we have a staking process where when you get the community, you first understand our vision and what we want to do. And then you have to, so we have like think of digital stock of any company, you know, Tesla. Think of every company that you know, Tesla, you that you know. So we have taken out and put it in form of a token. So you have to like buy stock. To call it on blockchain, we call it token. Now you have to like buy our shares for, let's say, $50. And what that is that I in what you guys are building. I live in the transportation you guys, I believe in the Ohanes farm you guys are building, and I believe this company is going to be big. So I am penny, and I want to be part of this. Buy your stock. I'm going to buy your token. Now, when you buy that share, stock, token, whatever, you actually own it. You can sell it in the secondary market. But that is like you showing your commitment. Immediately you do that, now you will now have access to the DAO. That DAO now gives you access to our funding activities. Thing called P. Everybody is part of the company will first pitch live. Pitch is our monthly event where we come up live like this now with everybody that has a business. You are going to be part of that. We live like listening to different, and then we mark out those who we think deserve funding, and then we move them to the next event, the pitch day. Today is the day where we are having the pitch event. You to come there, pitch to us, and also to other abroad. We already have like 5 external investors that are not part of ESVC, but they're also looking for startups. You will come there to that pitch day event, pitch your, convince us again, convince investors we have brought, and then we will not check for your business. And so we are also doing with this money according to your growth steps. If you say I need $100,000 to, so we'll ask you at least, if we'll say, what do you need first for us to see? So you see that we are not just throwing our money around on Harry that just says they have business or have idea. So you will show us every of the books and everything, and then we'll give you, we'll tell you, we will give you more money based on how far you target. So it's very strict. It's not a child's play, so that will just come there and just. So
Okay,
it goes
perfect.
through that. And once we invest in you, remember you are part of our community now. So we are getting support. Me myself, I want to as many of these brands as I can get. So getting support. Why? Because we now have a still there.
Hi, hello. Hello. Yes, I can no longer hear him too. I'm trying to see if I can. If it's from, please, can anyone hear me? Network be playing tricks here.
I can hear you.
Perfect. Okay. I guess it's network. Let me reach out to him, see if he can. um,
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
I don't know if it's my network or yours. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So let's wait for Doka. I don't know. Network is crazy.
we're having network issues. Maybe we'll leave our videos off for now so that we'll see if network will last longer. Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. The network
Hello?
has been crazy.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Yes, it's been crazy. Okay, so just to give clarity to what you've said, yes, is what you've mentioned that ESVC is set up as a crypto equity platform that is operating like a DAO. So the DAO extends equity fund. Yes. So the DAO extends equity funding to founders who are part of the community. So those who doesn't know what a DAO means, should please go Google extensively what a DAO is. So the DAO, for individuals who want to be a member of the DAO, you have to stake. You have to stake the ESVC token, and then that ESVC token is exactly what, having staked it, you now become a member of the DAO. What again it means is that what it means is that you have to have, I mean, what's the minimum amount that persons could stake? Say $100 or more or less. I just want to give a summary of what we
$50.
said and get the clarity. How much, sir?
$50. $50.
Okay, $50. Okay, cool. So what it means is, as a member of the ESVC DAO, you have access to raise funding, and the funding will range between $1,000 to 100K USD that will be given to you as equity funding. And that equity funding will be given in tranches. So, but the cap for now will be $1,000, and it will be given during the ESVC pitch day. Correct? Yes, that's the cap.
Yes,
$100,000. Yes.
Yeah, the cap is $100,000. Minimum.
Yeah, but it's the funding will not be given. Yes. Sorry, I'm listening. Go ahead, sir.
Yes.
Okay. And then the funding, if you need $1,000, for instance, funding will be dispensed at tranches, so that after getting the first tranche of funding, if you're able to achieve some level of success with it based on what was discussed, then you can have access to the next tranche of funding. Correct?
100%.
Okay. So right. So now, I think I'll leave the rest for questions during the question session. So I'll just have two more questions and I'll be good. Just for those who are members of the ecosystem, the pitch day of the ESVC pitch day, does it have any collaboration with the ecosystem?
Sorry, what's that question again?
The ESVC pitch day, which is the live pitching where founders get funding and all the preparations that run into that, and also the post-pitch support for founders who have received funding. Does it have any relationship or collaboration with the ecosystem?
Yes, definitely. It does.
Okay, so I'd like to ask in this question, this is my last two questions. So I think so this is basically of ESVC for now. What drives you? Because we noticed that you're pro-culture, you're pro-cultural or pro-Igbo. You have this pro-Igbo disposition. We make you a very cultural man. We understand you're a chief. So, what drives this disposition of yours? I know you've touched on it a little bit, but then just a brief answer to cement what you've said earlier. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it was not clear.
Oh no, we just wanted you to discuss a bit on what drives your pro-cultural disposition, why you're pro-Igbo and pretty cultural, with like a whole lot of the businesses you've opened are named in Igbo. Hence throwing it out there, brandishing the Igbo heritage. So what drives this disposition of yours?
Okay, so first of all, I'm proudly Igbo, and it shows in everything I do, say, and how I carry myself and act. That's why I'm 37 and I am a chief already. You already know what that means. I don't just love Igbo, I also love tradition. I'm grounded in culture and tradition, and it happens to be that of. Yeah, it happens that I am also in love with the Igbo culture and tradition. So for me personally, I believe that you are actually first. As a Nigerian, I am Igbo first before Nigerian. I am an Igbo man first before I am a Nigerian. I believe that it is on me. They always say something that when people see you, they should be able to see where you are coming from. They should be able to see that your personality should be able to reflect your identity. I give you an example. 2 days ago, somebody called me and said he just saw Oyije Motors somewhere in Abuja, and he would the excitement in his voice when he was telling me just reminded me on why I decided to name my transport company Oyije. The identity, anywhere an Igbo person sees that Oyije, there is a sense of identity that it exudes. There is a sense of personalization when it comes to it. Yesterday, somebody was writing something on, he used Oyije Motors picture, and he said he took that picture in Aba. There are a lot of transport companies out there, GI, GOU, GIG, and all these things. Now, the person didn't take that picture. The person doesn't know me. He didn't take that picture because he just liked going around taking pictures of transportation companies. But because even though he's from Rivers side of Igbo, and he saw that it brought out the Igbo-ness in him, which many people hide. So you see, so the naming is very, very important for me, because the naming has to do with the origin of where this idea is coming from, the origin of where the founder of this thing is coming from. We all remember the days of Ekene Dilichukwu, how we feel when you are traveling anywhere and you see Ekene Dilichukwu. Ekene Dilichukwu strikes me more than an ABC, even though both of them are founded by Igbo people. But as an Igbo man, I'm going to be connected faster to an Ekene Dilichukwu Motors than I will connect with ABC Motors or GIG or any other ones out there that uses abbreviation. If you pack my transport company, pack ABC, pack GIG, and all these other ones that are non-identical brands, the average Igbo person will connect with Oyije Motors faster. And
That's true. That's true.
Since my vision is to move people from this region to other regions, so it's beautiful for me. It's beautiful also for my people who are the Igbo. It's something that will attract them fast. Most people, they say, oh, where is your Oyije Motors park? It's not because they like Gaius Chibueze. It's not because they like my face or they like the things I say or do, but just because they connect with it. They connect with it. Like in Igbo, we say Nka Bunkai. This is our own. You understand? So I feel that naming is very important. Naming for me is very important. I have another startup called Fagaruya, and when I was talking with someone online in a chat, and I said, I have a contact company that can help you build an app, blah, 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 blah. And I sent her the name. I said the company is called Fagaruya. I sent her the platform, fagaruya.com. And I didn't even know that she was Igbo because she had an English name. And she asked me, this Fagaruya, is it like the Igbo meaning? See, it connected us immediately. You understand? I said, yes. What you think. I say it's actually what you think it is in Igbo. So you see, that connected us immediately. So for me, my businesses goes beyond just naming. It's not just about naming for me. It's about the cultural uniqueness of it.
Resonance. Yes. Okay. Perfect. So my final question here, sir, would be now, having been intentional in building these businesses and structures, and then that has now culminated into the ESVC, which is basically you giving a support system, it's a support structure to entrepreneurship here. So you've been intentional in building businesses that you are confident gives support to the economic diversity and heritage of this region of Nigeria, the Southeast region, and also intentional to supporting those who are doing the same thing, right? What do you think as to other relevant, like what's the best part to developing structures or providing these support systems that will cause a blooming entrepreneurship stage for Southeast Nigeria? You know, you can highlight the government role, you can highlight the private sector role, but what's the best part? What's the fastest part to, I attended this what was it called? That hosted Chimamanda, that cultural setup. So there was the guest speaker at the time was one prof, and I was asking him how we can speedily have our mathematics and other sciences and other vocationals being taught in Igbo language. What was the fastest part to it? And there's a response he gave, right? So I just about in the same having the same concerns, right? About this relevant support structure that we need here that will boost. I mean, when you have this support system, like you said, people will not be going down to Lagos and everything else. It will cause a ripple effect. The government also benefits from it. Unfortunately, we've seen a retarded support from the government, but I'm not even here to even start doing the blame game thing now. I just want to hear your suggestion. What's the fastest pathway to building these support systems or structures that will make entrepreneurship to blossom here, which will now have a ripple effect, will now have increased employment, there'll be a reduced migration of founders from here to Lagos. Here will be spotlighted, economic advantage. I mean, if these founders are here, they can now patronize for instance, the tech city. If you have an eatery somewhere, you have people that can pay for it. If you have seafood, a plate 25,000 naira, somebody can pay for it. But when people are not buoyant, they don't have money in the pockets, right? These things can't happen. So what do you think is the fastest path to building these structures that can make this happen, make founders to be here, make entrepreneurship to blossom and bloom without, what do you think? Is it going to be heavily a function of the government, or what's the role of the government and the private sector? And this is my final question before Q&A.
So the government has a role to play, huge role. The government has a huge role to play, but today we don't want to talk about the government here. But the government has a huge role to play. I will highlight where the government can, if the government can even focus. Now, entrepreneurship is business. Entrepreneurship is business. And I want every entrepreneur here, because most times when we want to do, we start crying and thinking, oh, the government is going to do this. Let me tell you the truth. Government all over the world don't actually create business opportunities. Government all over the world don't, they even create problems for entrepreneurs to come and solve and make money. Government all over the world, what they create is enabling environments. So for the government, I would say what we want first is, what we want and the major things we want is fixed security for us. I will take care of other things. And I will give you how we can take care of other things. So using this India playbook. What is the Indian playbook? India spent the last 10 years immersing themselves in technology. There is no house in India you want to knock and they don't have one software engineer. There's no house in India you want to knock today, they don't have one tech person there that is doing tech, that is either building something, working for people building, or this and that and that. That is the playbook I want us to have. That is the playbook I want us to have. In fact, look at Nigeria has a fuel queue problem for as long as I have been born, for 37 years. It took one entrepreneur called Dangote. However you want to say, Dangote is favored by the government. But the truth is, if you want to really look at it, government, if not because we have some kind of nonsense government in the Southeast that don't understand business, government everywhere wants to be in the good books of entrepreneurs. So entrepreneurs are supposed to benefit from government. So if you want to say Dangote is favored by government, I will tell you, yes, even you yourself, when you start, you're going to be favored, you're going to want to be favored by government. Elon Musk is the highest beneficiary. Elon Musk is one of the highest beneficiaries of the US government. Go and Google what Donald Trump is telling him some days ago. Tesla has something called electric vehicle credit that American government gives to it. If I want to buy a Tesla now, American government is going to give me up to $5,000 credit to support. Let's say Tesla is 100,000. American government is going to pay me. It's going to add 5,000 naira to my $95,000 automatically, so I can be able to buy that Tesla. Called EV credit. Go and Google it. That is one of the things Elon Musk enjoy. No other vehicle company in the US. Elon Musk that they are giving that to Elon Musk to encourage more people to move to electric vehicles. And a lot now in my house, I have given myself 24 hours electricity. I need you to understand the explanation I want to make now. When I was installing this solar, total cost of this solar was 48 million naira. Now that 48 million naira now, I paid the engineer that set up the whole solar system, auto switch and everything, climbed the roof, put the pan and everything. I paid him 3 million naira for his workmanship. Solar itself is 45 million, the battery and everything. What did I do now? I have solved the number one problem that would have made me not to want to be in Enugu. Because if I am here now in Enugu, let's say somebody is booking my Airbnb in the US and the person needs something urgent and the person can't text me because I don't have light to charge my phone. My brothers and my sisters, I will want to go back to the US immediately. If I'm here now in Enugu now and I have a business and I'm supposed to come on this call now and I can't have light to sit down here and be having this conversation with you, I will have to leave this place. So what have I done? I solved my problem installing solar. I'm not saying everybody can afford solar, but I want to progressively make you understand how the role entrepreneurs can play, because anywhere you are where there is much problems, there are also much opportunities. And it all boils down to us having the mindset that I said is my vision tagline for my company: build locally, export globally. So the person that fixed the solar, I created job for him during that period. If you want to install your own solar now, I refer him to you now. You have also created job for him during that period. And why? What was the reason why I needed light? I needed light to be busy. I needed light so that when I'm not in the US, I am anywhere I am, I can comfortably still be here and still be functioning as if I was in the US. That is me solving my own problem. Remember, not everybody can solve that problem because number one, two, there are no job opportunities for people to earn. But in solving your problem, many of you here know Ntachiosa. Maybe I will use it to give example. It's more right now based on the amount of money that they sell things in the market. It's more cost effective for you if you have only money to eat one time a day. It's more cost effective for you to go eat at Ntachiosa than for you to go start buying things to cook your own soup. Ntachiosa is solving a problem for people. People who want to eat food that is already prepared and go about their day's activity and be productive without worrying that they have to go cook. So entrepreneurs solve problem. So what I expect from government is to solve the problem of insecurity. This is like, because if you solve the problem of insecurity, people will be willing to move here because it is better here. I will breathe fresh air in Enugu than I will breathe in New York. I will breathe fresh air in Enugu than I will breathe in Lagos. I will do so many things here with less stress. So what this does is automatically, if you solve insecurity problem, you will create jobs. Why? Because people will come down here and establish their businesses. And in that process, they are going to create jobs. In that process, if I am building my estate now, like this tech city I want to build now, by the time I start building it, guess what? I'm going to do my road inside the estate. I'm going to do my own road inside the estate. I'm not going to wait for the local government chairman or the senator or the House of Reps or anybody to come do road for me. I'll do my road and then I'll factor it into the cost of into my cost of production, my cost of building the estate. So what am I saying is that if there is an enabling environment, entrepreneurs can actually create solutions to every problem you think exists and make money from those solutions. If there is security now, people will come from anywhere, come and establish their businesses here, create jobs. Voice of the East, in short, Eastside Ventures head office, you come there, you see at least 26 people working part-time. Those 26 people working now, that is me reducing the unemployment problem in Enugu. So entrepreneurs are meant to create job opportunities, solve problems, and make money from solving those problems. So the things I think we need to do more is we need more people to invest in opportunities. We need to invest in more startups, which is what I am doing with ESVC Capital. We need to invest in more startups. We need our entrepreneurs to also think beyond the Southeast. I tell people, look at the Southeast as your production ground. I have recently launched the largest fenced livestock ranch, or whatever you want to call it, in the Southeast. Now, the Southeast is not my only target market when I start to produce. Towards the end of this year, I'm going to set up my meat processing factory so that those cows and goat and chicken and all those things and pigs I'm raising, as they start maturing in the next 5 years, I will start killing them and slice them, package them, wash them. That factory is going to employ more than 50 people too again, that are going to be in the packaging, in the killing, in the slaughter, and every other process that is involved in meat processing. Now, my focus is to use this place as a production ground. I am buying coal vans. What will be the job of those coal vans? Start taking that meat that I am processing from here in Enugu, start taking it to Aba, start taking it to Lagos. I have dedicated a social media team. What is their own handwork? Start promoting our meat called Betano. So look at the Southeast as production ground. If you are a software engineer, also, you can be here in the Southeast and be working for people in the US. This guy I talked about here, Casey, I always use him for example. He works with my company for the last 3 years. He earns $1,000 every month. No job in Enugu State can pay him $1,000. I'm not sure anybody here in Enugu State that is maybe not building something big can employ someone and pay them $1,000. But because most of the solutions that he is building for me, I am selling it to other parts of the world. He is able to live comfortably here in Enugu, still in his parents' house, and he has been earning $1,000 for the past 1 year. So when we invest in the ideas of these entrepreneurs, let's say, for example, Chisom Obi is here on this call now. She has a business idea that she's currently pushing, and that business idea is moving well. She's been running that business herself and her younger sister, but she needs just, let's say, for example, $10,000 to increase her production. Let's say she produces plantain chips. She wants to increase the capacity of her production. And as an investor, I come now and I invest $10,000. What is going to happen? Chisom will immediately take some money from that $10,000 and employ more hands for her plantain chips. So what am I saying in essence here? We need more of our people to have mindset to invest in our startups in the region. The reason why I am focusing my investments here is because the person in Ibadan is already connected to someone in Lagos that will invest in a startup. The person in Lagos already is in the center where the first startup money lands in Nigeria. But the person in Enugu is not, Enugu is at a disadvantage. You have a social problem where they are saying Southeast is insecure. You have a location distance, even though it's actually fake. You have a mindset of location distance problem. So if more of our people that are successful, that God has blessed, the people I am even more angrier with is Ndi Igbo that make their money abroad and then take it elsewhere to go invest in Nigeria. If more of our people can fund startups and ideas of our people in this region, guess what? In 10 years, I can invest in Chisom Obi now in her plantain chips business. And before you know, Chisom Obi is now employing 10 other people. That people that Chisom Obi is employing now, they have money to go to the market to buy food, buy clothes, and buy things from that other local woman that is selling at Ogbete market. The person at Ogbete market also has money to, when their child is sick, to take the child to the hospital. So we should create a funnel where money comes from abroad into our ecosystem, not just for consumption, but for reproduction. When I was constructing this, my Ohaneze farm, guess how many people were working on site? 126 people daily for 6 months. Either carrying block, fetching water, burying the block on the ground, doing the building, knacking zinc, connecting the pipes. But imagine if I had taken that money. Imagine if I had taken that money to go invest somewhere. All those people that were busy for that 6 months I was building, they will not be busy. So I call on government to provide us enabling environment, security, to make security a priority. Anytime I'm in Enugu, some people will tell me, please carry police everywhere you're going, even though Enugu is safe. So I shouldn't get to want to be spending that extra to carry a policeman that I am going to be paying money at the end of the day because there is no security. Handle that. When you handle that, entrepreneurs will feel free to create businesses, and when they create businesses, they add back to the society. And even the government can tax. You can even have people to tax. As Peter Obi said, you cannot tax poor people. There is a limit to how far government can tax these people. Most of the young people in Nigeria will never be of use. Why? Because they are just growing in age, but they are not growing financially, and so they become useless. They become even liability. And Nigeria has no social welfare, so I will not even say that they are even becoming liability to the government. So they have no other way than to go steal or become nuisance to the society. So everybody has a role to play: the government, the investor, the young entrepreneurs, and the business people in our society. I think I will stop it there for now.
Thanks a million, the Bitcoin chief. Chief Gaius Chibueze, these have been insightful and very detailed. Thank you. Thanks a whole lot for being here with us and sharing all this with us. Yeah, I think we'll just take few questions and then we'll wrap it off. Because we have barely 12 minutes to get done. So we have Siptan Haida has a question. Please go ahead and ask your question. You can unmute and ask your question.
Thank you. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can. Carry on.
Okay. Unfortunately, I was a little occupied in another meeting, so I joined a little late and I missed some things. But I was asking in the in the chats also that I'm a founder from Pakistan, and we are currently at the pre-seed level. I can share the details of what we are doing. I would just like to ask Mr. Gaius that are you currently investing in any ventures that are related to sports and society in general?
Okay, yes, it depends on. I personally don't sport, but I have financial advisors that understand. Send me your pitch deck. If I get your pitch deck, I will share with my team who do all those who actually do it and advise me. I'm investing in anything that can bring me returns. But remember, I only invest in things that are already generating returns, but no matter more.
Okay. Currently, we are pre-revenue, and there will obviously be returns when we are in the revenue phase, but will need some time to get there. So I will just share the overview and the details of what we're doing and how we plan to do that. Can you please share your email or any point of contact here?
Okay, Udoka, which is the best way to share this? Would I share with you or you share with me, or I can share my ventures this thing email?
I sent you my WhatsApp. But whichever you prefer, let me also drop. I can drop my email for him, or if you prefer, you can also drop yours on the chats, and then
My email is a public email. Let me drop it.
Okay,
So if you
beautiful.
have
Okay, beautiful.
Like I said, please, I need you to understand the kind of companies I'm investing in. You must be in revenue already. But I will share. My email is ghostpartnersfund@gmail.com. So I just put.
Okay, I'll see to that. I'll share with Mr. Udoka, and we'll see what we can do. Thank you for your time.
All right, thanks. Are there any more questions? Do you have any more questions? Leslie, does Leslie have a question?
Thank you. My name is Leslie, and I would say I'm a huge, should I say fan now? Maybe not sound like a fanboy, but I'm actually impressed with what you have been doing in the Southeast, especially. And you're one of the reasons why I justified my moving back to Enugu to start up my game company. I want you to ask.
That's good testimonial.
So that's the truth. I mean, when I started up here, I was like, yeah, I mean, there's somebody putting in all his investment back in the Southeast and encouraging more people to do the same. So why should I go back to Lagos and start up? Why not do it here? and the environment is much better. It's more conducive. It's peaceful. I would say it's very peaceful because I don't like the hustle and bustle of Lagos. So I wanted to ask, have you ever thought about esports and gaming and creative industry if you'd be willing to invest in such a venture? Can you hear me? Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I hear
Leslie,
you. I hear you. I think maybe network. So network has been acting crazy. Let's see. I think
Okay.
it's an issue of network. So let's give him some minutes to rejoin.
Okay.
Um. So, but I can even respond in advance of him joining. But of course, when he joins, he's going to mention. But basically, he's investing in early stage, startups that have started getting traction, getting revenues basically. So especially in Southeast Nigeria, So doesn't mean that he won't make exceptions based on the response he gave to Siftan. I guess exceptions are we always have exceptions in any case. So I don't know if it's a satisfactory answer, but we'll just give him some time to rejoin. And if he doesn't, you can also chat him up. I guess he's also going to share his
Yeah. So no
yeah.
problem with that. Even if he doesn't share, I think I can still reach out to you.
No, that's fine.
If possible, we could show him what we have.
Oh yeah, sure.
I'm co-founder of Gundu Games, and we're currently making a AAA action adventure game called Beyond Service. So we want to. We've been meaning to reach out to him for some while. So I think I saw this and I thought it's a good opportunity to just do some
Yeah.
soft landing.
Yeah. That makes sense. So the thing
Leslie,
is that
can you?
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
Leslie, can you please share your LinkedIn with me? I would love to connect with you. I am also working on something related to esports, so would love
Oh,
to have
that's
somebody
lovely. That's lovely.
who's thinking of something.
Oh, that was beautiful. You see. So I'll say this. Um yeah, okay, cool. Leslie has done that. We're
Yeah, I
going
would share
to
my LinkedIn via the email. Just reach out to me via the email. I'll share you my LinkedIn.
okay, so I'm going to see if he can join back. So we'll wrap it off. Just give me a few minutes. I mean, we'll have just about 7 minutes to wrap up this conversation, and then it will be a wrap. Just spare me 2 minutes to help him back to join back, onto the call. Meanwhile, just as an advance announcement, we're organizing demo pitches. We're going to have pitch battles, and in fact, it's hosted by Startup Grind on behalf of the tech and startup community. And this pitch battle, the best in Enugu State is going to compete with um, the best all over the world. And if eventually you pass it through Enugu State and go to the national and then the regional, make it straight to compete with others all over the world, you have some good funds coming to you for real. So be looking forward to that. That's number one. Number two, that's also a sequence to the other, live pitch sessions we'll be having where you raise funding. So it's not just Bitcoin Chief that will be there, like he mentioned. I will have other investors who will be there to give funding to those founders they find exciting. It will be happening live. So like it's going to be a build up towards it, but we'll have to have demo pitches to be able to shortlist, those who are well prepared. We don't want our investors to be disappointed. I want it to be in fact, as much as it's possible, we want everybody that we select to get some funding. So we're hoping to have about 10 to 30 founders funded this year, anything between 10 to 30. So yeah, so please be, be on the watch. Watch out for that. It's going to kick off first week of August, and then it's goes all the way through August, September, to the pitch day. The pitch day is going to be very heavy. It's going to be a national event. It's going to be crazy, very very huge event eventually.
Hello, can everyone hear me now? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. Sorry, I had some physical distancing here. Then my laptop just tripped off, and then I was trying to reconnect with my phone, but the network, I don't know why. Okay, but I'm in now. Thank you so much, everyone, for still staying on the call. I was trying to share my email as at that time. So please be guided that I am only investing in startups that are already generating revenue, no matter how small. So my email you send your pitch deck to is ghostpartnersfund@gmail.com. I just shared it in the chat. Okay, can you guys hear me now? Yeah.
Back, great. You're welcome back, Chief.
Yes, no. Thank you so much for
Okay.
hanging on.
All right. So thing is, we okay. Maybe you just drop. Okay, fine. You dropped your email already. That's perfect. So, thanks everyone for being part of this call. I think it was very insightful. Correct? Hi guys. Was it insightful? I need a brief feedback from everyone.
Yes, it was. Definitely. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, very much
Okay.
it was.
So we'll be saying, yeah. So Obed Singh, I hope this call doesn't cut off. Said, my question: does the ESVC token have a verifiable smart contract and a max supply? Chief, the question is to you. Does the ESVC token have a verifiable smart contract and a max supply?
Yes, it actually does. The smart contract is there. It's used on Solana blockchain, and then the smart supply is somebody there.
Perfect. And after that, yes, and after that question is a wrap. So thank you, the Bitcoin Chief Gaius Chibueze. Thank you for making our time to be with us, even against all odds. Thank you for sharing those wonderful stories. Thank you for guiding us through. Thank you for believing in the East. Thank you for, being one of the heavyweights from the East that have agreed to be a pace setter in, betting on the founders and the builders and innovators here in Southeast. We are confident that with this structure that you are putting in place, and that we are also working together with you to put in place, we'll have the best outputs, great returns on investment, and as well, very importantly, making huge impacts here. And like you've called on the government, we definitely will draw their attention. Of course, this I'd like to mention that this is this call is being recorded and will be shared on YouTube and other social media handles where people watch it. We normally have a whole lot of views, and then we later would have these conversations with the top cadre of the government and get them to get to work, so that we'll have even more effectiveness in what we're about to do, because entrepreneurship solves problems, but government must give support to make entrepreneurship thrive, like you rightly put it. Thanks a whole lot, Chief. Thank you. We're grateful to have you. And to everyone, hey Chief, are you here? The Grand Chief. Your network is acting weird. I hope I'm not been knocked out. Okay, I'm knocked off. Okay, so to everyone who joined the call, I want to say a very big thank you. I think it's been a great time. This time we spent has been worth your while, and we're very, very hopeful that we'll have these conversations going on. And now, having had this conversation, we also have action backing the talk. We've talked the talk, and we're going to walk the talk. Together, we're going to achieve greatness. Thank you, guys. Have a beautiful evening. Cheers, everyone. So, yes, thank you. Good to mention that this fireside chat is powered by Capital. Yes, thank you. Thanks, Leslie. Thank Madam Angie and everybody else on the call. Benedicta, Munachi, Emmanuel Okonna. So this fireside chat is powered by Startup Grind. It's going to be done once every month. So we're going to be hosting successful founders, investors, very top officials of government professionals that are relevant to the entrepreneurship space and to the tech space. Once every month we'll be having this virtual call, and we'll be having talks that are very necessary that will kickstart action to build the support system around entrepreneurs in Southeast region. At this point in time, I'm going to say, ciao guys, sayonara.